Hello everyone. Sorry. Frog in my throat. It's Brigitte. And I'm just gonna wait a few seconds to see if there's anybody around. I know that the virtual crafty retreat, the holiday crafty retreat is on right now. So I'm not sure how many people we're gonna have, but that's okay. And hi Joyce. It just means that like anybody can rewatch it later anyway, so that's perfect. Right now, like I don't know if I'm gonna have visitors. My cats are very needy lately, plus my husband left for work for a few days, so it's gonna get even worse. Right now they're sleeping, so I should be okay. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling, and I just wanted to say I'm gonna color this little image. So it's from Moosel-toe. I think they're so cute. So you have two little moose and a Christmas tree and a little like ornaments, and obviously a bunch of like funny sentiment, as is the norm with the crafting Kimi stamps. And when I did this one, what I did is I stamped the moose first, then I made a mask, put it on, and then I put the tree. So it's like he's in front of the tree that's like in the backyard. Not backyard, but background. So I'm gonna use pencils. Like my whole point today is to show you how you can use your pencil and do a really quick watercolor background. I do that quite a bit. I'm like really not an expert like whatsoever in watercolor. Melanie is. I'm not, but I can do a quick watercolor, like the background, like the sky. That's usually what I do. It's just so much faster and it's smoother than trying to like blend nicely my pencil or my Copics. So first of all, I wanted to show you which brand of paper I use. I think I'm gonna have to zoom out a bit for that. And I always have problems. Okay, here we go. So it's like I get it at Michael's. So it's Strathmore colored pencil. I find it, and what it is, it has a bit of the texture of. I keep all my little scrap, as you can see. It has a little bit of a texture, kind of like watercolor, but not quite as intense, like as deep. So you can use it for your pencil, but for the watercolor, it's still good as long as you don't put water and water like in. You keep going on for that. So what we're gonna do is gonna start coloring the image first, and after that we'll do to the watercolor portion. Plus, like I told you, it won't be very long. Like that's why I use that technique. Like the watercolor part won't be long. And one of the great thing about pencils, would it be Prismacolor or also the polychromos, whatever, I'm not too sure how to say it in English. Is there like one is waxy, the other one is more oil. So what's going on is like when you fill all the pores with your pencil, if you put water over it, it's just going to glide over it. So if you put watercolor and you're not in your line, it doesn't matter because it's just going to float on top. So that's another reason I love doing that. I do love my Copics, but the thing is Copic, you're not filling the paper. So if you put watercolor, well, first of all, the Copic paper won't work whatsoever, like at all with the watercolor. But if you put it, if you use your Copic on this kind of paper, which is not the greatest for your Copics, but anyway, it's the Copic, like it's still, the watercolor is still gonna show over your Copic. Anyway, I'm gonna start with my like blah blah and just start it. So I'm gonna start with the tree. And I hope it's close enough you can see properly. So I'm using, I have an idea like how I'm going to do my card. So it's going to be more in blues and stuff. So I took a green for the tree that are more towards the bluish than the yellow. So I'm going to use grass green, Kelly green, sap green light, and pale sage. And I'm going to do it like with little flicks. So it's going to be like a furry tree kind of deal. And like it's all like different portions. So I'm going to go up and down from different portion with the little flick, trying to avoid the ornaments and stuff like that. But if you go over them, that's fine too. And when you do your flick, if it's easier, turn it upside down. I'm gonna try to keep it the same way so it's easier for you and you're not seasick. Don't have it like the same length, because that just looks too, it doesn't look natural basically. So I have kind of a like tuck, 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 like a rhythm that I do with that. And like the nose gonna create like a shadow. So what you can do is like just put a line there. Don't press like completely. And then go again. Just like that. And see how I'm doing like that's a portion. So I'm going the top and the bottom. And those are portions. So I'm going top, bottom. So, and even then like under the portion, I can put like a thicker line to delimitate the parts. And you don't put the full, like you don't want to, I'll just grab a little piece of, you're not going like full on it. You're just like going like this. So I'm just gonna go under the portion which I didn't go. Okay, and I continue the little flicking. And if you have any question, you can always comment. And his face is hiding, like it will cast a shadow there too. And at the top of this part and the bottom. So what we're gonna do, that was a grass green. So I'm gonna go with Kelly green for my second color. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Basically, I'm gonna try to go over what I did and extend it. I'm not blending. I'm just like going, extending the lines basically. As much as I can. It's possible that it won't be exactly the same. And like I say, don't do them like all the same length. Even artificial trees have different length. So we're trying to do a little bit of that. I don't know if there's people here that are part of the virtual retreat also. I have a huge issue with my computer. Like I don't have access to like Adobe or word. Like I can read them, but I can't even like edit the one I actually like wrote or anything. So it's really hard to be part of a retreat because like you have to do the instructions and I can't. So I had to bow out of that one. The other color is sap green light. So I'm gonna do the same thing. And if we lose like the lines holding the light, it doesn't matter. We can always put them back after. So you just do that over and over. We could have blended the colors too. Like it would give a different feel. And the last one is pale sage. So same thing. Basically, I'm gonna try just to extend it so I can go like the top and bottom. And when you have like a little piece of pencil, whatever, on there, don't wipe it with your hand because you're gonna smear it. Use a brush or something, a fan brush. And a lot of the tips I picked are from Alice and Kitten Clowder. I did like quite a few of her classes. So you can go again over the colors like to make them pop a bit more. What I'm gonna do is like I'm losing the definition between like the different segment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go and put more color there. I'm trying not to hide with my hand, but I know I am. I'm sorry about that. So it looks kind of funny like with just like that part. So obviously I'm gonna have to go with the other colors. So that was like the spring green, the grass green, and I'm going back with my Kelly green. So just going up, back and up. As you can see around some of the ornament, I'm trying to fill so they look the shape that they're supposed to, like the square and the, diamond and the round balls. Thank you, Patricia. Sap green light. So again, just going down and back up. Sorry, Patricia, it took me a bit to see your comment. It's just very quiet, so I'm not really looking at the comments much. Usually I'm more aware. And we're gonna finish with the last one, and it's pale sage. And just filling in the middle here. And I'm doing flick again. I'm not filling in everything. If there's lines like that there's no color, it's okay. We want it to look like the tree has some texture in it. So we're gonna leave it as that for now. So what we're gonna do, and the stamp set for Patricia here is a Moosel-toe by Netta. And it has like 2 little moose and the tree, a couple of ornaments, and a bunch of sentiment. So, and I just masked the moose and then put the tree behind it. Oh, I think I woke up the monster. The monster is the cat. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna do the star. So I'm gonna go, sorry. It's not a huge star, so I'm gonna start with a goldenrod. Well, I know we can't really see it, but like, so. Just gonna go around quickly. I'm leaving the top empty, like I'm not going over it, so it's lighter. Oh, and the second color is yellow ochre. And some of my pencil like have purple tag on it. It's because it's my old box from when I was like 10. So they're like 40 years old. And then I'm gonna go canary yellow. And yeah, at that time, like they were actually still made in Canada, and they didn't have the name, they just had numbers. And I'm gonna finish with deco yellow. There you go. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a glow, like I just gonna go back a bit to basically press all my, like the pores of the paper. If I don't make sense, like please, like tell me. And what I want to do is put, like, that's my lightest one, so it's the deco yellow. And I just want to put like a yellow halo surrounding the star, so that when I put the watercolor, it's going to be yellow, and then I'm going to make like kind of a night sky, I think. Just like that. And I'm like, in my mind, like my little scene, it's outside, so the lights are not gonna be bright because there's no electricity, like in the middle of the forest. So I mean, it would be a really, really long extension cord. So that's the way I'm doing it. So I'm just adding a bit of white because I want to press a little bit more on the paper, but I don't want it to be like neon yellow. I just want it like a soft glow. So just doing that here. And so we're gonna do it like, if like people watching, if you have any like what color you want the bubble, like the Christmas ornament, just tell me. So we're gonna go to the mousse. So I'm gonna use a combo I use like quite often. It's dark brown, chocolate, yum, light umber, and then putty beige. So dark umber is my darkest one, and is wood or whatever it's called, antler. They're gonna be still like brown, but more in a beigeish kind of brown. Anyway, it's gonna be lighter than the fur. So here, like the junction between his ear and his neck is gonna be darker. So I'm just putting more color there. And oh, thank you, Trina. So just, I'm trying not to hide, but it just seems like today I'm doing a sucky job of it. Inside his nostril, it will be darker. Whoops, not outside. There's just an eraser here. His googly eye is gonna cast a shadow right there. And we have his arms, his hand sticking out here. And his shirt's gonna cast a shadow on there. And right here we have his little fingers. There's like, so I'm gonna just go like the half circle below, and then the top I'm gonna do with a lighter color. And he's gonna wear pants. Is he wearing pants? I think so. So he is. I decided that. So I'm going to chocolate. So what I'm doing is I'm going over the previous color and extending it and doing little rounds to kind of blend the two colors together. We're gonna have to go like a second time over it, because if you can notice, you can still see, I'm Marianne, you can still see the little like white speck of the paper through it. So we're gonna like put all of that down with the second pass. So you don't put like full pressure, especially when you start the first color, because otherwise you won't be able to blend properly. The reason I'm putting more pressure like inside the nostril is because I know I'm just using two colors, and it's just to like cover it. Because the lighter the color, like when I'm gonna go to the other color, and especially the last one, gets harder to blend. But if you have very soft pressure, it's easier. Like that. Then I'm going to the third color, which is light umber. So again, just going over everything and extending it. You want to make sure, like I use 4 colors so for this this combo, for this brown. So you want to make sure that you leave room for your last color. So see when you're going over in a little circle and extending, the color do blend like nicely. And I know that like the fingers are very little. So that's a putty beige. That's the last one. I'm just doing the fingers while my point is, of the pencil is pointy. Here we go. And then I'm not going over all the color, just the last one. And again, extending. And I'm being super careful with that one. Like I say, it's a little bit harder. Some colors like do blend better than others. But I mean, if you're patient enough and you're soft enough, you can blend pretty much any color. And remember, like the tree, I didn't blend at all. Like I want to see like the pine needle, the fake pine needle. Let's not forget about that. Okay, so we're gonna go and do it all over again. So dark brown. And this time we can put a little bit more pressure. But again, you don't want to go like full on like that. Just a little bit more. Because even like if you can still see a little speck of white from your paper, you have 3 other colors that go on top of that. So you still have a chance to fill them up. And if it's not filled up and you like don't like the look, you go and go a third time. I remember when I started, like I didn't know, so I was going super, super, super soft, and I had to go like almost 4 times, and my wrist was killing me because I didn't know how to, like I was way too tense. My finger I kind of like did earlier, but chocolate. And also like pushing all the fiber of the paper down so there's no white. That means like the watercolor that we're gonna put after is gonna glide right over it, so it won't mark anything. Oh, and for people wondering, like the not the nostril, but the eyeball, like the iris, anyway, the pupil. They weren't black, like they were contour black, but I put the marker in it. That's light umber. Second to last color. Then we're gonna go with putty beige. That's the last one. And going over the last one, not all of it. And we just blend it. Is anybody following along and they have the image? Or you're too busy coloring so you can't answer me? There we go. So this kind of done. And there's one thing, if like there's still a little like speck in there, if you want, you can use the colorless blender and you can go over it, and it will like because basically you're adding more wax, so it's going to mix with the color that you put down, and all that the white's going to disappear. The only thing is sometimes if you don't have enough color down, it's going to make everything water down. Not water, obviously, because there's no water. Okay, Trina. Oh, thank you. So like I say, if you have any idea what color you want the Christmas ornament, like the bubbles and stuff, he's gonna have a blue sweater just because that's the color scheme I'm gonna have in my card. What color you want the cup, what color, everything. Because I don't have, like, beside the blue shirt, the rest I don't care at all. And for the tree, you can do the same thing. You can use your colorless, but I would still follow your like flicks, because you don't want to blend them. You just want to put the paper down, basically. Like the fiber of the paper down. But you can't, like I said, you can leave it that way. It's totally up to you. And when you use a colorless blender, look at the like your tip. And what I do is I wipe it off with my finger. So next time I'm going to use it, if I don't look at it, I don't put like red over my white or something like that, because that never happened before. Yeah, sure. So what I'm going to do now is antlers. And I only going to use like light umber and the putty beige, and also I'm gonna add white because I do want it lighter. Sometimes I mix my polychromo with my Prismacolor, especially for browns, but I won't put you through that. So just starting with the light umber, and in the dip, kind of the dip there, it would be darker, so I put color here. And I didn't mention, but I stamped the image, the moose I stamped with Sandy Shore, because I like to do kind of a no line effect. And the tree I use Old Olive, just so when I'm finished coloring, they would disappear. And if you lose your line, you're not sure like where the chords and stuff like that, just pick up your stamp and just go over it. That's what I do a lot. So I'm gonna go with putty beige now, and just going over. Putty beige, even if it's really light, it does like blend super well with light umber. It's amazing. Just like that. And then I'm gonna take my white, and the same thing that I say with the colorless blender, look at your white and check that it's white, it's not another color. I've done that before too. And white is very, like for pencils, it's really, really strong. So I'm putting a very light touch for now, and I'll see what I need to do after. I'll give another coat first, and then I'll go full on with my white. But right now, so that's back with light umber. Just a little bit more pressure. You're still not like, you're never going super like the strongest, because you won't be able to blend anything unless it's you want to do a line, then that's fine. but otherwise, like, it for sure won't blend. And this one thing that like I noticed with new colorist or stuff like that, and even like I started painting miniature plastic little character, and is don't be afraid of like stretching colors. Like you have to have shadow and you have to have highlights, so it's okay that you have to have super dark and to have super light. It actually does look really nice when you do. It creates a balance there. But with the miniature I'm painting, it doesn't matter. They're mostly zombies, so there's always, like, if I screw up, I just add more blood. So it hides the mistakes. And then I'm just gonna like finish with my white there. And I'm not going over like all the color, I'm just going over the edge. Like I said, it's really, it will go over the other color. So, just like that. And what I want to do is I'm just going to take my darkest brown and I'm going to go around his eyes. Just so they pop a bit. And his eyebrow. He only has the one. Poor little dude. There we go. And what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of putty beige right here, just to put a bit of color. And after that, I'll just make sure my white is white, and I'm just gonna fill the rest of it. I mean, we could have put like color. It's never too late. I think he's gonna have, oh, no, he's gonna have green eyes, just cause. So I'm just putting it around like his pupil. And like that. And I use like Posca pen, but you can use any like white gel pen, and you just put like a dot of light. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go over his shirt. So that's my favorite blue combo, so I use it all the time. So I use indigo blue, periwinkle, blue slate, and cloud blue. So I'm gonna start with the indigo blue. And here I'm gonna go like dark where his neck is, like inside. So I'm not going over that again. And that's kind of like, what do you call it? Not a neck sweater, oh my gosh. Sometimes my English escapes me. Turtleneck. Why do you call it turtleneck anyway? Like, really? It's like when you say you have a frog in your throat. In French, we say we have a cat in our throat, not a frog. Language is complicated. Here I'm putting a darker line because it separates the turtleneck, like the color, from the rest of the sweater. Now I'm going with periwinkle. So going over my indigo. Right now they look like almost the same color, but it's once we start putting like more of it, more pressure, that they're really different. Blue slate. I hope you can see properly. So going over it again. And the last color is cloud blue. And I'm just going over the last color, not over all of it. And once again, I'm gonna do the same thing. So anybody thought about what they're gonna, like what color they would like the bubble and his pants? And anything really, like, I'm open to suggestion. Just think about it. So the periwinkle. Now we're gonna try to put those pesky little like white dots down, like the fiber of the paper. And if I'm out of frame, please tell me. I'm not always looking up. I'm trying to look at where I'm coloring. Doesn't always show, but I am. Like if you're pressing more, you have to make sure that where you stop for the edge of the other color is lighter, so like that you can actually blend. I'm going to a cloud blue. Set it in. And I'm gonna basically go over the last color. And I don't know if you like that blue, but I do. I love it. So that's his little sweater. So, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to, oh, wow, that was bright. Like the stretchy part of the sweater, I forgot to color it. So let's do that. So it's the same combo, obviously. I thought it's like that was looking funny a bit. And I'm just going through the colors here. It's going to be a bit darker just because it's under the shirt more so. So I'm going to leave it that way. So I'm going to put him in, I think, gray pants. So I'm using cold gray, so 50%, 30, and 10. Oops, anyway, there you go. So just for his pants, I'm just cooling keeping the cool palette going. And that's my 30%. And then 10%. It's going to be a like pale gray. When it's smaller portion, I tend to go faster. But obviously, there's less to color. So that was going back with the 50%. Then that's 30%, and then finish with the 10. And I'm gonna make his like his hoof gonna be black. So basically, I'm gonna start with my black. And then I'm gonna go with 70% cool gray. I think that the 90% and the black are almost the same color, so I use one or the other, but I don't use both most time. So that's 50%. And I'm gonna stop at 30%. And I'm just gonna put some more black. Just like that. So, okay, we have the bubbles left, and it's coffee cup and coffee. In the coffee, I'm gonna put chocolate because it's gonna be hot chocolate. So that's the chocolate, and I'm just gonna put the light umber on top, just really quickly. And his cup is gonna be, I think, red to make it poppy. Just getting my colors out. So the darkest one's gonna be Tuscan red. And then I'm gonna use crimson red. Whoops, I'm getting out of the frame here. And scarlet red. And for the last one, it's gonna be carmine red. My watch is telling me to stand up, So going back to the color, so Tuscan red. Like with Copic, you can do the same thing, go over twice over your colors. It's gonna like bring, like it's gonna be more intense. But if you don't, it doesn't matter. You still covered the whole paper. Like you won't have little flecks, like specks of white. So with pencil, you don't have to, but I do like not to see those white or not much. And what I want to do is, actually I was thinking about that. I just want to do like polka dot cup, just because I can. So and I think is bubble. Can anybody tell me how to pronounce that word? I'm gonna put it red too. And just here, like it bugs me, like there's too much white beside the ornament. So that was Tuscan red, crimson red. And scarlet red. And carmine red. And we lost our darkest color, so I just want to go back to it. And I'm gonna go crimson red again. And carmine. So in the tree, I think it's still gonna be, like the moon's gonna be yellow anyway. That's for sure here. So that's goldenrod. And then that's yellow ochre and canary yellow to finish. But we didn't put like aloe around it or anything. And then we're gonna put some blue in the tree, I think. A few blues and a few reds. So that's indigo blue. That's periwinkle. And that's blue slate. And cloud blue. And then I don't feel like blue. Oh, purple. I love purple. Let's do that. So this is dahlia purple. Oops. Let's try to keep this round. And then I'm gonna use the Parma Violet. That's not the greatest combo, but that's okay. And then lavender. Okay, and again, just a little bit of filler here. Here we go. So that would be the colored image. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give myself some room because right now, like, I have to get my watercolor stuff. So excuse me while I just put everything just in a cup, and I'll sort that mess out later. There we go. Oh. And okay, so you're gonna need obviously water. I don't know. Okay. So that's water. Ceramic palette, watercolor. I see your image that's getting somewhere else. And a paper towel. So like I say, I want to do a dark sky. Well, first of all, I'm gonna do the ground. I put a very faint line. I know it's gonna be really hard to see, but it's about here, like that, all the way across, basically. So that's gonna be snow, and the top's gonna be night sky. So, and I put a couple of little lines for a little bit more texture. So what I'm gonna do is, for the snow, I want it super light. So I want it really light purple. So I'm taking like half purple here. It's super dark, but I'm gonna water it up a lot, and I won't put it everywhere. I'm gonna put it on the lines where I want it. So what I do is, and see how I go over the, well, I'll just, sorry, I just have to find, here we go, okay. I go over everything here. It's going to be a bit darker, like in the shadow, like right here. And I continue that line. And then I'm going to go, like, I created some lines. So I go with that. And it's super faint. I want it mostly, hi Carla, mostly white, because it is snow. So it's just like faint, like little details here. And I'm just putting on the side a bit like that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab, I know you can't see everything there. I have like much darker on my brush, and I'm trying to do just the top. And like I say, I am not an expert at watercolor. I just try to do my best. And I'm taking water here, and I'm gonna like extend it, and if there's too much water, just wipe it out on my paper towel that's beside me. I'm better at the sky than the ground, honestly. Thanks, Carla. And I'm gonna put a little bit of blue, but not much in that purple. So we'll leave it like that for now. I'm just trying to draw it. I want to show you something else, like while that dries. I colored these little guys, like that's from the new release. They're snowball fight little guys from Netta. So I made them really, really furry, and I actually colored the snow with pencils. Salut Patricia. And so what I did is like I put white everywhere, so like that again, if I go with the watercolor and I go over it, it doesn't matter because it won't show. Like it is, you can just wipe it off. So I'll do this one after. So for the sky, like I say, I want a darker blue, like almost black blue, but not quite, because I don't want everything to disappear. So what I'm doing is I have Payne's gray, which is dark gray, and I'm gonna put it here. No, you can't. Gosh. Like that. And I'm gonna mix it with some blue. Like all my merci Patricia. All my watercolor I put in my cover, and I know which color, like what it does. So, and what mark, from where it is. And I'm gonna use some French blue. So, but I don't, like I said, I don't want it full on like completely dark that you can't see through it. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna move that aside so you can see, whoops, the little guy there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually wet the sky. It doesn't matter if my paintbrush is dirty because that's the color I'm gonna use anyway, so I don't care. Patricia is my sister-in-law, so she's watching from Quebec City. And I don't know if Celine is still there, but she's in France. Oops, I should try to be in the... So I'm trying not to go over the what I already colored, but it wouldn't overly matter, like I say, because it's like I put wax on top of it, and even if we go over it, it doesn't matter. So here we go. So you want it wet. Go. Okay, so now I just put my mixture. I'm gonna put the darkest one on the side and the top here, like, because I didn't mix it equally. I did it on purpose, like more Payne's gray. And then this one has like some of the blue. And you can also let it flow where it wants, so it makes kind of like clouds. Just gonna, whoops, I went right in the Payne's gray, but then I can kind of move it around. Like I said, I don't have like a technique or anything. It's just like a big blob of mess that I make usually. And what I'm gonna do is like, I put some in my halo here, but I take a wet brush and I can like remove the color. And I can do that everywhere where it went over what was colored. And I'm just mixing, like, oh my god. Here we go. I'm mixing darker color here. And one thing with watercolor, it usually, well, it's not, it always dries much lighter than what you put down. So and again. So you just play with it and see, sometimes it does like water effect kind of. So I'm just gonna take some more of the aqua, the blue here. And I couldn't do that with normal paper because it would just make a big mess. And sometimes I just like do whatever, and I not hope for the best, but I let it dry, and then it's going to be kind of a surprise. Kind of work on its own. So the only thing I'm going to do is, again, remove what's on the yellow. Just like that. Patricia, she's asking if I made it on watercolor paper. C'est pas du papier aquarelle, c'est du papier pour le crayon de bois, sauf que ça a un peu les mêmes propriétés que le papier pour l'aquarelle. So the answer to that is I use colored pencil paper. It's not the same as watercolor, but it has some of the properties that like the water can float over it. So I'll just put that on the side for now. I'll kind of put it like that so you can see this one. Pas de problème. And this one, I want it to be a sunny day. The only thing I have to be careful is I didn't finish coloring it. So where his scarf is, but all of their scarves, I didn't color. So the color I put there could actually go in there and stain it. So I'm just going to have to be careful. I think, though, if I go with pencil after it, it's just going to be, it's going to be stronger. So I'm using, I really, really like this blue. That's just me. It's phthalo blue, or I can't say it properly, but anyway. And it's really bright, really sunny. Like, to me, it's like bright day, like sunny day. So I use that color a lot. So, and what I'm going to use is, like, I'm just going to shift everything a bit like that. Again, going to put like the water all over. I'm just going to do half of it just because it's like quite a lot of sky there. Okay, I have a cat coming here. You might see like a tail or something. Chewy. Chewy. Oh, okay, he's in front of me, but he's not hiding the camera. Okay, so hi Patty. How was your life? I didn't have time. Yes, you. Oh my gosh, yeah, I see his tail now. So that one, honestly, I'm trying to, like, I'm not even putting it regularly, like the color. I want it to be like messy and organic, and it looks like there's clouds and everything going on. So I'm just gonna do the other half. So again, just putting water. And because I made them so furry, like it would be hard to do like put the color just around the image. So I know I'm gonna go like inside of like all the little fur pieces. And then salut Patricia. Oh wow, great Patty. You know what? We're always worried and everything goes great. Actually, usually I screw up pretty bad, but that's fine. But it's not the technical part, is I just get nervous, so I screw up what I'm doing. And try not to leave like white spot like here. It just looks funny. It doesn't have to be dark or anything. It's just like you don't want it white. And thanks, Carla. I actually had a lot of fun. Like, I did that all at the last second, which I usually am not much. I just kind of add like darker spots now. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll do like really furry, because I like my cards at the release. I really like my fox, but I was like, oh, if I do the fox like that, that means like I have to do them all furry, because otherwise it's just gonna look funny. So guess may look easy, but I think it was fun. I don't think, well, you mean the live? Or because to me, like, some of the girls are much better. I'm always nervous, like yeah, for public speaking, even if it's behind a camera. Yeah, live. I know. It's stressful. I totally get it. But the technical part, like now, it's not so bad. Now I'm just like playing around. Like it doesn't really matter. Like I could leave it that way, but I just want spots that are like darker. My Amazon package just arrived. And I love like all the water is gonna move it. So even if I put it a certain way, it's still like when it's gonna dry, it's gonna be different. And like if that's too dark, just add more water. But like I say, not an expert in watercolor whatsoever. Just having fun, and I like that it's fast. So I'll just leave it like that. So it's just really like well, like I already said, like organic kind of feel. He's mostly dry for that one, if you want to see. But he's not completely dry. And the thing is that because it's not watercolor paper, what people are using nowadays, that one is actually, it's a Strathmore, like I get it at Michael's, Strathmore colored pencil, like that. So, no, I don't sing. Um, so, you can only put so much water compared to watercolor, like paper that you, can go on and on and on. That one, like, has a limit. And I think, like, right now, I would have to wait if I wanted to add more. It's just like, not liking me too much. The only thing I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna like clean my yellow here. And yeah, I can see the paper is, yeah, saturated with water. So basically that's pretty much it. So just have fun with it. It's the way I'm doing it. Obviously, as you can see, it's absolutely not precise or anything. For that guy, what I'm gonna do when it's gonna be dry, I'm gonna flick some white paint on top of it, so it's gonna look like snow is falling. And I might also like fix the snow. It's the first time I tried the snow with the watercolor, and I do prefer it with the pencil. To me, it's neater, but that's just me. And there's cat hair everywhere, obviously. But yeah, I hope you learned something. There I go. Can see a bit of both. And we'll see you another time. If you have any question, leave it below, like leave it in the comments, and I will see it. Especially if you tag me, I will see it and I will answer. So you have a great day. Thanks everyone. Thanks, Carla.